good to be back.
So good.
Back with my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Joey D'Alessandro. How you doing tonight, Joey?
Doing awesome. How are you, Mr. Eric?
Doing good. I mean, these beats, they just get you pumped, don't they? Mr. David Hastings, how you doing tonight?
Oh, yeah, I can't.
How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm great,
Oh,
man.
there we go.
I'm
Sweet.
great.
Got a little-
Life is good. I leave for North Carolina on Thursday for my friend Brandy's wedding.
North Carolina.
Nice. Long weekend you going for? What are you going
Yeah,
for?
we're leaving Thursday morning. Me and Amanda. Coming back Sunday. We're going to even hit Dogfish Brewery on the ride home. So, yeah, it's going to be a nice little trip. We're taking some little catamaran thing out to see dolphins. So
Awesome. That
yeah.
sounds like a fun time.
It should be a good time. Yeah, looking forward to seeing my friend Brandy. I haven't seen her in probably 2 years, so excited to see her as well.
Brandy, you're a fine girl.
She's getting
What a
married.
good wife you would be.
Very good. Nice job. Well done, my friend. Well
man.
done.
That should have been recorded and played as that could have just been like a drop.
Yeah, that could have been. It's all good.
Hey,
My lovely singing voice
next
is even
week
better.
I'll have that. I
There,
can
there
do
you
that.
go.
I
There you
have
go.
that
Like-
capability.
Sweet.
Oh yeah,
So-
because you could just take it from the recording of the recording. I got you. Make a recording of the recording. See, I'm with you now. All right.
You got it. So, speaking of, not really speaking of, I'm just going to it. NBA Finals. People killing it. Like Joey just killed it with that song. The Celtics
Thank
are
you.
absolutely killing it. Against the Mavs. The Mavs team, you guys were both pretty high on, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
been so bad.
I could have sworn that I think I was the only one who took
Yes,
the Celtics.
You were the only one.
Yeah.
And Kyrie, I mean, the one thing I'll say as somebody who has gambled a little bit over their life and whatever, and I've listened to some old time gamblers, and I've always heard an adage that you don't bet against the streak. And the streak right now is Kyrie 0 for his last 12 against the Celtics. That's
That's a
pretty
crazy streak.
damn bad.
That's really bad.
So, I don't know. I'm looking at it going, to me, this was a slam dunk. This was going to be the Celtics' best chance to win a title. I think they had the easiest run to get there. We've talked about this before. But Kyrie not showing up. And ever since he stomped on that logo, 0 for 12, I think that says something. And I'm just wondering what you guys think. Are you guys rethinking your pick now? Or are you still Mavs coming back and going to win it in 6 or 7?
I know I'm rethinking my pick, especially with Porzingis. So if he's healthy, this Celtics team, I think he's got a plus 25, differential. So with him on the court, they're pretty unstoppable right now. And Drew Holiday is just locking it down. Like you were just talking about Kyrie Irving not really showing up for the series. It's because of that man, Drew. I don't know why the Milwaukee Bucks would ever trade him for give him up. I know they got Damian Lillard, but I just think Holiday's a better overall player than a Damian Lillard. I know Lillard can pop off for 50 at any time, but playoff time, baby, got to lock people down, and that's exactly what Holiday's doing. Boston has won. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis,
White.
Holiday,
They got
depth, man.
They've got that. So speaking of depth, they're actually, I believe, 25-3 this year without Porzingis.
Oh,
So I mean,
bad.
it's one of those things where even there's
even need
a
'em.
reason they're the overall number 1 seed in the NBA. They've played great basketball all year long. Drew Holiday should, to me, be in the conversation for MVP so far after 2 games.
oh, agreed.
I also think, though, that, Dallas and Kyrie specifically, I mean, what a sad showing so far. Right? Like, I'm expecting their role players and their, younger players to have a better game in game 3 and take advantage of the home crowd and, all that stuff, right? Bench players play better at home. But Kyrie, he just doesn't have an answer for Drew Holiday, and until he figures one out, he's beat. And he will continue to be a disappointment. And credit goes to Holiday. Porzingis in game 1 kept making Kyrie uncomfortable as well. the Celtics are playing good team basketball on both sides of the ball, and Dallas is playing bad team defense and basically handing the ball to Luka or Kyrie and standing there waiting for them to make a
Save
play.
us. Please save us.
And you can't win championships playing basketball like that. You
No,
just
you
can't.
can't.
You have to play a team game to some level, some extent. Your superstar's job is when you run a play or two and you get down to like 8-7 seconds in the shot clock, give them the ball, get out of the way, and hopefully they can still save the possession and get a basket out of it, get fouled, something. So Kyrie's got to step up. The role players in Dallas have to step up. And those were the things that you were seeing when they turned things around in the back end of the season. And you're not seeing that in the first two games. And, credit's got to be due to Boston. Like, this isn't just
Definitely.
like, Dallas fell short. But
Missoula's out coaching Kid right now.
100%. 100%. But you also got to think about, I think about it like this too, right? Like, if Dallas manages to win the next two games, the hype around Boston's gone and we have a 3-game series, right? Like, do I think Dallas will be able to do that? I just don't have a lot of faith in their ability to do that after what I've watched in the first two games. So that's all I can say. But Boston's looked like the much better team. They had arguably one of their worst games of the entire playoffs on Sunday night, and they still had an extremely disappointing showing. So Boston still pulls it out. It was just bad, and Luka was basically trying to do everything by himself, and you're not going to win against a team with Boston with that much depth, with one guy stepping up.
Eric, any thoughts on this?
Couldn't agree more with you guys, especially the coaching aspect. Missoula, I think, is 100% out coaching Kid. And it's not even close. And to me, it's the difference between a former player turned coach versus an actual coach. And I think he's getting outworked here. Granted, you could have two of the biggest superstars in the world on your team. Sometimes a team game comes down to being a team. And Boston is the more complete team, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, the best basketball example I can think of in our lifetime was the Pistons that beat Shaq and Kobe's Lakers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was a team going up against two major superstars, and they were able to pull that out because of how good of a team they were.
Well, and Boston also is a team plus two superstars. I mean, can't really beat that. And also,
Drew Holiday's playing like a superstar, so you could say arguably 2.5, 3. I mean,
you know who the real MVP is? I might have to give credit to Brad Stevens. He put this team together. I know he was the coach at one point, but bringing in Holiday, bringing in Porzingis, and he brought in Wade a couple years ago as well. He really has done a great job building this team, has a great foundation, and you got still two young superstars in their prime with Tatum and Brown. All this losing has finally gave them this opportunity to push forward, and I think that. But
screw Boston in general.
All those hardships though are gonna get them this championship this year.
Well, I think you're right, but I mean, I think we could all agree we hate to see Boston get another championship. Even our good buddy Mr. Eric Pfeiffer, who's joining us on the line right
what
now.
up, Pfeiffer?
I think he could agree, even though he doesn't follow basketball. I think he could agree with the sentiment of fuck Boston.
I'm not a Yankee fan, so I really don't care.
This ain't Yankees though. This is Celtics. This is just Boston sports in
Boston
general.
Bruins, I guess.
Bruins.
Would be
you could look at the. Even though they play in
Patriots.
Foxborough, the Patriots. Just Boston in general.
The Patriots are well past their winning days, and
Thankfully.
The rest of them I don't mind. I actually enjoyed watching the Boston Red Sox come back down 3-1 back in the day. I thought it was one of the most fun baseball experiences I ever had, other than the Braves. Oh, sorry, 3-0, right. But I enjoyed the hell out of
20
that.
years ago, 2004.
Yeah. Ugh.
It was awesome. What a series.
Nah, that wasn't
What
good
a
series. It was. Ugh. Anyway.
Oh, shit. That was great. That was great.
Stop it. Get some help.
So listen, I want to say, guys, I listened back a little bit of the show from last week, and I realized that when I am not speaking and I'm driving in my car, that there's a lot of noise from my car. So I've now hit the mute button whenever I'm not speaking.
We
All right,
appreciate that. 'Cause
still
there
pay
is a lot
attention
of-
to the
There's
road.
a lot of back and forth, but we appreciate that.
Yeah, but most importantly, pay attention to the road. We could deal with the noises.
Oh, so did
There you go.
You know what?
Hey, we got
Fife.
our unofficial fifth host, Louis, making an appearance.
Fife? Did you guys end up winning
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game?
So I ended up, the better part of me just could not go. I didn't go.
Ah,
I just did not.
Did
I
your
didn't
team
like the
still
way we
win
got
it, though?
there.
Did your team win it?
They lost 4-3 in double overtime, which I
oh, that's heartbreaking.
I could have possibly made a difference. For
No,
the
you would have made a
positive
difference.
in a game like that, but I couldn't bring myself to go. But I'm at espresso location muting.
Muting.
Well, that gives us a good setup, though, to get into the hockey talk, and that's where we're going to go next. I mean, we all pretty much think I'm going Celtics in a sweep. I think that they're going to keep the ball rolling. I think with the way Kyrie's playing, they're done. So just to put a bow on the Celtics talk, Celtics Mavs talk, I think it could be over, even if it's in 5. But I really think it could be break out the broomstone.
I think it's 5.
I'm gonna flip my answer. I'm going to Boston. I'll say 6. I'll say Dallas makes it a series. I'll go 6.
All right, but speaking of another series we thought would be a little bit more of a series, but Panthers now up 2-0 on the Oilers. And to me, looked like the better team so far, throughout those two
Especially
games.
last night.
Yeah. I think the Panthers could be getting this here. And it's interesting to say because they're not a team you really think about. They play down there by Miami, not really hockey country in most people's minds. It's not cold weather, like they said. It's the furthest two teams have ever played in distance from each other. Oilers up where they invented hockey and getting schlubbed right now. What did we say? It was 31 years or something like that since the last time. 34 years, somewhere around there. Since the last time a Canadian,
Yes,
Canadian
32
Cup.
years.
It looks like it's going to keep extending that streak as well. So again,
does.
when they say, again, many experienced gamblers have told me, never bet against the streak. And I'm going to stick to that. And for this, I'm sticking to it too. I don't see a way that the Oilers come back from this. I know that really all the Panthers did was just hold home ice advantage by winning their 2 games at home, but I just don't know if this is surmountable enough. The Panthers just look too damn good.
They last night specifically, they looked amazing.
Yeah, 4 unanswered goals, man.
Yeah, like that, and like that Rodriguez kid with 2 goals in the third period. Just overall, that it's they're doing the same thing to Edmonton that they did to the Rangers, and like when you think about that, right? The Rangers were strong enough to fight through and push, right? But it's another round where Edmonton also had to go through these rounds where they just have been getting beat up as well, and now you go against this Florida forecheck. They're playing quite physical and they're really meeting them at the blue lines. Like they're not really letting Edmonton get into behind the net and dropping it deep. Like they're playing them really tough. And last night's game, like game 1 was tight. Game 1 was a game that went all the way down to it, right? Like game 1 was a tight game. But this game was without a doubt Florida looking like the better team. And it was really just in the third period. Right, like that's really all it was. It was really just the third period where they outscored the 3 goals, but still, they just look so much better than Edmonton did last night. And I mean, McDavid, that man's busting his ass, but there's just nothing going right now. I don't know. I got Joey in the chat. I got Fife on mute.
Yeah,
No, I was just looking because I was looking at the
Fife is
headline
still
there
on
that
mute.
the Oilers, Draisaitl is not going to be suspended for the hit on
Barkov.
I didn't think he should have.
How long is? Do they know how long Barkov's going to be out, or is it only for the game? Because if it's for the series, that actually might change things. I mean, that's your captain right there.
Yeah,
he's definitely out for game 2.
He's out for the series, from what I hear, but I don't know that it. I mean, it's a big hit for Florida, but with their depth and the way they're playing the game right now, I think that if there's a team that can battle through losing their captain, it's them.
and especially if they got to win, they basically have to win 2 out of the next 5 games. So they've got plenty of they have a little room for error. Obviously, you don't want to get to a game 7. But even if it does happen, they're the home team in Game 7. So they have some room for error, which, again, you do not want to have error. You'd love to end this in 4 games, be done with it, get your Stanley Cup after you lost last year. Let's go, right? I think that's going to be the message in the locker room and the motivation behind the players. He's helped us. He's one of the main reasons we got here. We have to get this cup. We have to be able to let him hold it. We have to let him get his time with it. That's why you're voted captain. Captain's not something that you just get, right? Your teammates vote that. That's a locker room full of grown men that said you are our captain. They want to do it for him. They feel horrible that this happened to him. And it's unfortunate it did, right? I honestly, from what I saw, I watched the replay 5 different times. I watched it happen live. I didn't really think it was a dirty hit. It was bad luck. I mean, Fife, I don't know if you would agree with me on that one, but I did not think it was a dirty hit. I just thought it was a bad luck the way things unfolded between those 2 players. I think you still cappuccino.
Hey, sorry, guys. Sorry, it took a while to get to the front of the line there, and I was informed by my pleasant barista. She apologized. She said the person in front of you literally ordered 5 drinks, and then when they got to the window, they added 2 more.
Oh, fun!
I cannot stand people like that. There's somebody, and you've already ordered 5 drinks, which takes forever. Go back around and get your other 2 or something. Or go inside and get them. Get out of the way. It's a drive-through. It's made for speed.
If you're ordering 7 drinks,
7 goddamn drinks.
7 drinks should be a mobile order. That should be an order that you do on your phone and
ding,
you pick
ding,
up.
Ding, 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 ding. Correct answer.
Right?
That's exactly what mobile orders were made for, in my opinion. If you're going to hold up the line with 7 drinks, you order them in advance and then show up 20 minutes later after they've been made. Because that's how long it's going to take to make your 7 drinks. Because especially if you're at the place we think you're at, between the blending and the mixing and this drizzle and that drizzle, and
common sense.
It's absurd. So that's what mobile orders were made for, in my opinion.
Yep.
I agree. Pink drinks, blue drinks, you name it. Dude, honestly, I'm sorry. I get frustrated. The drive-through is I'm sorry, I do this all the time. But there's another thing at the drive-through. It's when you got these tight wraparound buildings, right? And then the people sit 3 car lengths back. It drives me absolutely insane. If you're there, you're at the drive-through, there's people behind you, have some courtesy, pay attention, and keep it moving.
Tell us how you really feel, Fife.
Now,
so dirty hit or not?
The Barkov,
So was it a dirty?
as far as the Barkov thing goes, I mean, if we look at the numbers, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like Edmonton losing McDavid. I haven't seen the hit yet, which is surprising, I know, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. But I trust in what you guys are saying. If it was just bad timing, especially the fact that no suspension came along with it, to me means it was just maybe a hockey play that happened at the wrong time. And Draisaitl's also not known for being a dirty player. He's a skilled player. He's a scorer. Even the Panthers head coach going into the series was you can do everything right against Draisaitl and McDavid, and it may not matter. They may still put up 4 or 5 goals against you. As far as the series is going so far, what impresses me the most about Florida is their ability to identify what kind of game they need to play and play it. What I mean by that is whether or not they need to counterpunch or be attackers. And I think Game 1 and Game 2 were perfect examples of that, because in Game 1, They got outshot 33-18, and at some point in that game, they said, all right, we got to go quality over quantity here. And they started playing more of a counter game, more of a counter punch game, and then they relied on their goaltending, which they obviously have the better goaltending of the series. So I think, and then in game 2, you look at it, they flipped the script, and I think they outshot them like 29-19, and they controlled most of the play. So to me, like, that's one of their biggest strengths is the fact that they're able to sort of identify what game they need to play that day and play it. And whereas Edmonton, you look at Edmonton, the way they play, they need to attack, and they need to just start putting points on you and keep piling them on. And that's how they're going to win hockey games. They're not really going to be able to play a counter punch type of game like that. They're not that kind of team. And then another thing that I think is happening from what I've seen, I haven't been able to watch full games yet, but from what I've seen, I think what Florida's head coach said is, well, our second, third, and fourth lines are better than their second, third, and fourth lines. So I'm just going to take my top line with Tkachuk, who's a great player, two-way player all around. He can play in the offensive zone, defensive zone. I'm going to tell him, look, we don't need you to score this series. Your only job with your line is to make sure that McDavid line is bottled up. You're never going to shut them down completely, but make sure that they're bottled up, and then let our second, third, and fourth line depth go out and do it for us. And if you look at the box scores, I'm pretty sure that that's what's been going on.
Well, Rodriguez had 2 last night and has been playing really good. I mean, he's been playing good since the Rangers series, if we're being honest. But, I mean, he played amazing in that third period last night. He's put up 2 goals. One of them was probably one of the best goals I saw the entire playoffs. But he's just playing overall really good hockey, and you really saw it come to fruition last night in the third period.
Right, and I believe to me, that's where depth comes into play for them. Also, I don't think going to Edmonton is going to be a big problem for them because they have the best road records, I believe, in the playoffs. And actually, I think from the regular season, one of the top 2 or 3 best, if not the best, road records this year. And it just goes to show how important it is to be able to win away from your own building.
You're not hoisting a Stanley Cup and a Vince Lombardi trophy. Like, you're not picking up a championship trophy if you can't win on the road. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I don't know if you caught what I was saying before. I think the thing I've also noticed is the way Florida was playing New York, right, with that forecheck and playing a very, very physically consistent game from blue line to blue line and everywhere else they possibly can. And the Rangers were tough enough that it took them, the 6 games to wear them out. But, like, I feel like between game 1 and what happened by the third period of last night, like, it's almost like they wore them out in 5 quarters. Like, I genuinely believe Edmonton could be in a lot of trouble because they just look gassed by the 16-minute mark of the third period.
Well, let's not get it twisted, though. You're gonna get. I don't see it not. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. You're gonna get 1 or 2 Connor McDavid games, and with as good as he is, that sometimes is enough in the playoffs to turn around your mindset in a series. I think it's happened for them all playoffs long. Like, we got this guy. All we got to do is perform, and this guy's going to find a way with his line to get whether he's getting the assist or whether he's getting the goal, his line is going to find a way to get it in the net. So the other guys, they see that when he comes out and has one of those games where he's putting up 3 helpers, or a goal and 2 assists. He's getting 3 points, 2, 3 points, and he's just controlling the entire game. The rest of the team sees that, and that resonates throughout the locker room. So I'm not going to rule them out completely, but, I mean, with as good as Florida is on the road and, them being the deeper team, they're basically, like, Edmonton just beat the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
I'd say the Dallas Stars are the Western Conference mirror image of what the Florida Panthers are, but I would say the Florida Panthers are like the Dallas Stars on PEDs. Now, I'm not saying they're on PEDs. But that's how I would make that comparison. Like, they are the Dallas Stars, but better, but stronger, but more physical, better goal scorers. I thought going into this it was going to be Florida, and I still think that, but I also think that you're going to have your one or two McDavid games, and so you can't rule them out when they have that bit of an X factor on their side.
Oh, that's what those superstar players are for, right? That's why you pay them the money that you pay them. But I'm not ruling them out. But I mean, like Eric, you said it to start this whole conversation, right? Like, really, all Florida did was hold serve, just like Boston, right? All Boston really did was hold serve. Until you went on the road, a series doesn't start. That's always been in a 7-game series. Always believe that. So either one of these teams wins Game 3. All right, now we can start talking about the series ending in 4 or 5 games. But right now, both teams just literally held serve. Florida just looks really freaking good. I don't know how else to say it.
I agree. And then, there's always the energy factor in Edmonton. I think it's probably one of the more electric buildings in the league, especially at this point in the season. And then, so not only do you have a sold-out building, but you have basically the entire city, like another 10,000 fans outside watching on a big screen, just jumping around, screaming and yelling. It's just, these guys that play in Edmonton, they can't, like, you play in New York, you could go out and, there's a good chance people may not recognize you. If you play in Edmonton and you're sending somebody to go get your groceries and you're sending somebody to go get because you just can't get anywhere. But then again, on the flip side, at this point of the season, Edmonton fans are smart enough to know that, hey, we got to leave these guys alone and let them focus on business. So there's some of the smartest fans in the league as well. But it's just a totally different dynamic in like a small blue-collar type city like that.
Well, Thursday can't get here soon enough. I'll say that much. They gave them 2 travel days. I think the NBA is 2 travel days, so they play tomorrow. And then you got the NHL on Thursday, which I gotta say, I love how the NBA and NHL time this stuff up. Don't make me pick or choose. Right, you get to enjoy each game individually.
I agree with that. You should be able to, and it is a good thing to see that.
Yeah, instead of that greed and bullshit, like they just agree. But like at the same time, it makes sense that they did it because ESPN owns the rights for both.
Yeah.
So ESPN just has it on ABC or ESPN Plus. It's the only way you can watch it. Mm-hmm. So
why are they going to compete with themselves?
I was just going to say, they want as many eyeballs as possible on it.
So they're stealing primetime television. They're stealing it all.
Well, can I say, too, like, I've heard a couple old school hockey guys on, like, NHL Network radio or whatever. They had a week off between the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals, or 5 days or whatever it was. And they get these 2 travel days. And you hear some of these old school guys that are like, this ain't how it should be. These guys should be going every other day right into the series. You're giving them a chance to lick their wounds. Like, please do give them a chance. Like, why wouldn't you want to see the best possible product to be put out there? This isn't 1980, 1995 anymore. Right. Like, it's a whole new era of sports. So, like, yeah, as much as you want to talk about the guys, like, as much as I hate the Rangers, you got to give Trouba props because from what I understand, the guy was basically playing on a fractured ankle all year. As much as you love to hear about those guys, or like a guy like Bobby Baugh back in, way back in the day, broke his ankle and then, scored the game-winning goal in Game 6 on a broken ankle because he refused to take his skate off so it wouldn't swell up so he could keep playing all game.
That's awesome.
Like, I love hearing about that stuff, but we're not there anymore. Like, this is a whole new age. Everything is about speed, and they've made the game faster. I love that the rules still change a little bit. There's a little bit more leeway on penalties and whatnot in the playoffs. But let these guys get their rest. Let them be the best players they can be at this point in the season. There's no need to shorten it up.
Well, that's
and force them to go every other day.
Well, that's a great transition to what I want to bring up next while we still got you on the phone. And it's going to be our
Knuckleheaded News of the Week.
So I got to bring it up while you're still on the phone because as we're talking about rest, as we're talking about all these players, as we're talking about, You know, speaking of a guy who's gotten a lot of rest, because he hasn't played in almost 2 years. So I don't know if you count the 4 plays he played last year. But you got Aaron Rodgers, and today decides not to show up to camp. And the team decides to come out and say, oh, it's an unexcused absence, but we're okay with it. What in the hell does that mean? And shouldn't he, a guy who hasn't been on the field much, a guy who needs to gel with a new offense, a guy who was at OTAs, what could be his possible excuse, and what more rest could this guy need? Because he's gotten all the rest possible. If he's not ready to go, then I don't know if he's ever going to be ready to go again. So I'm wondering what you think of this unexcused absence. I got a Jet fan here in Joey who I'm dying to know his excuse for why it's okay Aaron Rodgers isn't showing up to camp. And yeah, I just figured, well, we got you. Let's throw a little football your way. What do you think, Aaron Rodgers? I mean, Joey, I'm going to start with you since you're the Jet fan. No, I want to start with you since you're the Jet fan. I want the Jet fan opinion. Do you care that he didn't show up today? What does their okay with an unexcused absence mean? Because he's going to get fined for not being there, being that it's an unexcused absence. So why is the team okay with this? And, like, they're just like, oh, he's going to be him. Like, oh, he'll be here. You know, no worries, blah, blah, blah. But yet at the same time, it's an unexcused absence. If they know why he's not there, why don't they just make it an excused absence? What could he possibly be doing?
RELAX. Relax. It's June. I understand mandatory mini camps, but he's been there for everything else. Maybe he told Salah a couple weeks ago, hey, bro, I got something to do. All right.
What is it? I mean, RFK's having a rally today out in San Fran. Is he out there for RFK's rally?
Maybe he's there. Maybe he's on a weed thing and he's looking to do some psychedelics. I don't know. I don't care. Know why I don't care? It's June. Be there in July and August when the actual train
put in June,
he's been there
pays off in September, October, November
for everything that's voluntary. He's been there. He's been there for everything. So I'm
why
not
wouldn't
too
it be
worried.
An excused absence? Like why is it an unexcused?
I don't know.
And I think it's got to be something because eventually it's going to come out. We're going to hear the story.
It's going to be something silly. It's going to be something stupid. This is Aaron's team though. This is Aaron's team, Aaron's system. This is all Aaron. So he wanted the day off. They're going to let him take the day off. Even if it
doesn't result in a
camps.
championship this year, I got to tell you, it's just not worth it.
It's a failed
It's an absolutely failed
experiment. No, you guys
experiment.
are right. I'm with you. It would be a failed experiment. However, it's an experiment, and we got to just go along with the ride with this. We honestly do. He's a mercenary, and we're kind of at his will.
What you got for us, Fife? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, you say, well, you got me on the line. I just want you to know I left a little early today so you guys can get a little more Fife in your life. So you got me for another 20 minutes.
There you go. Well, that's great because then we can bring up Darren Waller next. But I mean, before that, let's get some Aaron Rodgers Jet talk here.
You know what, man? I ain't worried about it. He's a veteran. I'm sure when he went there, it was part of the thing he said, like, look, if I want to take a day off, I'm not just going to be there so I don't get fined. Find me if you want to find me for an unexcused absence. I'll let you know a day in advance. I'll call out sick, whatever it is. But it's Aaron Rodgers, dude. He's going to do what he does. Maybe he feels like being at everything last year, which I don't remember if he was or not. But maybe he feels like that was part of the reason his Achilles or whatever it was popped on him. So, I don't mind him taking some rest. He's an old man. And if he goes out in September and performs, we'll never hear about it again. If he goes out in September and October and November and he lays an egg, then we're going to hear about it again.
Agreed. And like he said, he's an old man. He's been in this system forever. He doesn't need to be at the mandatory mini camps. Tyrod, take some reps, Tyrod Taylor. Here you go, bro. In case he goes down,
because you're gonna need it.
Yeah,
he's going down.
Hey man, can we not wish injuries on people?
Jets
come on.
Jets
but I mean, listen. If anything, what you should be hoping for is that if it is a failure with Aaron Rodgers this year, that Dak becomes available after next year, and then everybody, and then at least you got a chance to sign a guy you can have for 5 or 6 years. David,
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Eric, like, I hate you. Seriously, this was so unnecessary. But I will say this: if there was any team Dak would go to, I would be the happiest with the Jets because I when Dallas sucks and I root for
You wouldn't
the
be
Jets.
as happy if you went to the Giants?
Not even relatively close. I would literally want to cry.
Because I'm almost thinking that that's the Giants' way this year is we got to just play it out, let Jerry piss off Dak enough, and then when the year's up, we kick Daniel Jones to the curb and we can sign Dak because there's no quarterback worth drafting next year. So I really hope the Giants aren't planning on drafting one next year. No one's
So
not
in
worried.
regards to Aaron Rodgers, because Dak's going to retire a Cowboy. In regards to Aaron Rodgers, honestly, I don't think it's a huge deal. I think it goes back to what Joey pointed out. When they started this whole thing with Aaron Rodgers, they basically were like, "Hey, you're the GM without the GM title. We're going to roll with what you want to roll with and put around you everything you want to have around you and do everything you want us to do so that you can give us a chance to actually win a championship." And honestly, it's kind of sad, but if it works out, it's worth it. If it doesn't work out, not worth it. So, I mean, time will tell, like Eric said, and overall, I mean, he missed an OTA practice. I'm sure everything's fine. He just want to do some Asawago or Wugu or whatever the hell that crap is called.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I knew a guy who did that. He went to Peru, he did that, and then he moved to Hawaii for 2 years. He said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
I threw in the chat, is it a big deal that Rodgers and Reddick are at the mandatory camp? Our buddy Fighting Irish, right, Timmy? Timmy! He's in there. He just said they're older players. It's possible the Jets just said, take it easy, come when it's
Well, I hear
expected.
Reddick is a different situation because Rodgers definitely give him the time, take your time, whatever. Reddick apparently is holding out because he wants money.
Well, yeah.
Money.
I'm blaming Joe Douglas on this one. Get it done, bro. You traded for a guy that you knew wanted to rework a deal or something. Get it done.
And at that point, if you're not willing to get it done, what the hell was the point of getting rid of Huff? You could have signed Huff for much cheaper.
Or you could have tagged him
he's
something.
He's a homegrown kid at least. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I love the
get
Reddick,
it.
but get him signed. Get him signed. Let's go.
So, speaking of guys that were signed and then retired, I mean, after that song we all listened to the other day, I don't know how you can't retire
That was a
after
chart
that.
topper, bro.
That
my God.
that was atrocious.
There's no other word for it.
It
Atrocious.
was absolutely horrific. I think he's come out with like a second one out since then. That's like a rap, more of a rap. Some people have been more into that one, but like I just don't get it. I don't get what he's doing. I guess he had some kind of
maybe he wants his record
anxiety
label.
attack, panic attack
Record
that
label.
changed his thought process on life because he feels like he almost died. And I'm not trying to knock anybody's mental health. If you got to do what you got to do for your mental health, and he's a guy who struggled. So when the Giants actually traded for him, that was a question I had is he comes in with some mental struggles already. He battled addiction and he won, and he's had some struggles, but he's come through. Would New York necessarily be the best place for him? And I didn't think it would be. But at the same time, the guy has undeniable talent when he's on the field.
Physically,
I mean,
undeniable.
over what, 7 years, 9 years his career was, or 8 years, whatever it was.
His eighth year was the 1 year with the Giants.
But he's still like he had out of those 8. What do you have? 4 really like great years, like really
and then
like
the rest has
top
been
2 or top 3,
and the
tight
injuries
end
have killed him.
performances, but injuries killed him, and then I think whatever this mental issue he had, recently was. I think that played a factor. So
Did
from
you
what he
hear that
says,
fucking song?
it was terrible.
Did you hear that fucking song?
I gotta be honest, I probably had mental issues after writing that song too.
Bro, you heard that song? That dude did not beat addiction. It's back, bro.
Yeah, that song was something.
I know
was
he's going
bad,
through a
but now-
divorce.
Dude,
I know
he's
that.
back on the crack, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be insensitive, but he's back on the crack, dude.
He's
That's
on
all I'm
something
gonna
because
say.
I mean, listen, broke up with his wife, and then now like puts out this terrible
How
music,
old is that?
retires from football. Like, I just don't understand necessarily the life choices that he's making right now.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Oh my
He's
God.
smoking crack. Back on the crack. He's hitting the glass pipe. He's smoking the plastic. He's fucking getting high, dude. That's the only way you put out a fucking song like that. I'm sorry.
That was rough. You know what I find, like, to lighten the conversation though and get away from the drugs aspect.
Sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
I literally need to point something out that I saw today. So the Giants starting left tackle, Thomas.
Yeah.
Right?
Thomas.
He has 2 receiving touchdowns in his career with the Giants. Darren Waller had 1. And then who was the big name wide receiver? Kenny Galladay had 1. So that means a left tackle has more receiving touchdowns in the last 2 big contracts the Giants have handed out to offensive skill position players.
Yeah, it hasn't been good. Hasn't been good, Dave.
That's
hence why I'm rooting for guys like Dax.
That's why you want Dak and Dak. Yeah, fucking.
You know what I mean? We got Neighbors. We're going to need somebody to throw him the ball. I do think he's going to be talented, but I think taking a weapon like Waller out of the lineup is going to hurt because now it's just going to put more attention back on Neighbors. So I don't love the retirement at all, but at the same time, we said it when we listened to the song that there's no way he can't retire after this. Like it's retirement or bust.
Are you guys hearing fights too? Like him just be like, bro.
Yeah. Crack.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as much.
I apologize to Darren Waller, and I hope he comes through this again, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think he's smoking crack.
I think he's smoking something better than crack because he's got more money than that. But anyway, terrible as the song is, this is, I'm assuming, his passion. So best of luck to you, Darren Waller. You're better at football than you are at making music. But hey, if this is what you're doing, God bless you, bro. And
I'm happy with Daniel Bellinger and Dio Johnson as the tight end. I am very happy with that. Very happy.
I'm not as happy. But again, I don't think it's going to be a banner year for us. I think we're one more year away from getting back to good again.
Hey, and let me ask you this, because you said there's no draftable quarterbacks, right?
Not in this draft.
And I know you're going to think I'm freaking crazy, bro. But who are the last 2 Penn State prospects I've talked up? Saquon Barkley and Micah Parsons. I would say that they became pretty good NFL players when healthy.
Yes.
Last year, Penn State's quarterback, Drew Allar, who is the only quarterback for Penn State that I think I've ever been excited about since like maybe 1997. It was his first full year as a starter.
Christian something.
It was his first full year as a starter last year, all right? And I think that James Franklin is under pressure to win. And I think they're going to have to open up that offense. He's not the type of player for the offense that James Franklin's been running. I don't like that they make him do the option all the time. This kid can spin the ball, he can get the ball downfield, and he can move the pocket. So I think that James Franklin's going to be pressured in changing up his offense. Drew Allar is going to have a hell of a year, and he's going to shoot up the draft rankings. Now, just remember the name, Drew Allar.
I'll remember it, but I'm going to be honest. I remember guys like Christian Hackenberg. I remember guys like Todd Blackledge.
Exactly.
I can remember guys that really aren't NFL quarterbacks. So I'm going to say that as much as I do love linemen out of Penn State, I love linebackers out of Penn State, running backs. I love the nitty-gritty, trenches guys from Penn State. I don't always love their QBs, so I'm gonna hold out and just say that, if you're right, you're right. But I'm looking at it as I think you look to 2026. I think that the Arch Manning is coming, and I think that is the next big sweepstakes you're gonna hear about. So I think
I'm just saying
that's where it's at. And I think if the Giants don't get Dak in this offseason, then I think it's all in 2026 for Arch Manning.
I agree with you. I agree with you on every other quarterback that you mentioned. I was never excited about Trace McSorley. I was never excited about Hackenberg, Blackledge. The other guy that came out last year, I didn't like him either. But I saw this kid. They would sprinkle him in the games as a true freshman, which they don't do. They didn't redshirt him. They wanted to get him game experience as a true freshman. He played his first full year last year. He's a junior this year. I think he's going to light it up, dude. As long as they got weapons, he's gonna be able to find them. And I think that, like I said, their head coach is under pressure to open up that offense because this kid can spin the ball.
All right,
So
well, then
just keep your eyes open, bro.
Speaking of spinning the ball, then that's going to transition us to our next topic, and we don't got to go long on this, but I got to get everybody's opinion out there and for the masses. I think we kind of all agreed pre-show that we were all on the same opinion. Don't know if you're on the same opinion as us, but I mean, somebody who is absolutely lighting up the college realm, setting new records. Girl in Caitlin Clark, who everybody knows her name by now. She's a household name. But at the same time, she did not make the U.S. Olympic team. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't think she necessarily should be on this team when you look at the way this roster is currently, made up. I don't think she's one of the 12 best players in college basketball or in the WNBA right now. Even though she was the best in college basketball, I don't think she's the best in the WNBA right now. And I'm just wondering, what do you think? Do you think that being the hype around her, being that, she can shoot the lights out of a place, she can, be a superstar. She is on a global level already. She makes more than most WNBA women. She, especially in endorsements, and clearly the number one person in the sport. What do you guys think? Would you put her on the team? Because to me,
No.
I don't think she deserves to be there right now as currently constituted.
No, I wouldn't put her on the team. I think she's going to be a hell of a basketball player. She's going to do really, really great things for the WNBA. She'll play on Olympic teams. I think she'll do all of these things, but this year is not the year when it comes down to the Olympic team. She's not one of the 12 best players in the WNBA right now, so it doesn't make sense putting her on the roster. You want to win a gold medal.
Heck yeah. I'm in agreement with that. The only reason they should have put her on is because the WNBA has been saying all their all-star players are, hey, what about the revenue? What about the money? We want more money. So with Caitlin Clark on the team, would have brought more eyeballs to it, maybe more viewership. But on the other hand, I think it would have been a distraction. They would have been asking, why is she only playing 2 minutes a game? I don't understand that. Meanwhile, these other 11 women are the best in the WNBA, and they're looking to kick some ass in the Olympics, if I'm being honest. Forget the circus. Just worry about the gold. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe they're also a little jealous of Caitlin Clark, too. I'm sure she's earning a lot more money with sponsorships than any of these girls ever did when they came into the league as well. So maybe they're like, yo, stay off the team. Kind of like how MJ and the Dream Team didn't want Isaiah on the team. Maybe they just felt a better way. Money with sponsorships than any of these girls. We got a technical difficulty, but that's okay.
Fife, what'd you think? Because we're all on the same page over here.
I gotta say, like I told you, I listened a little bit last week, and I think somebody, I don't remember who said it, but somebody sort of hit the nail on the head to add to everything you said. I think everything is right. I also think she's been sort of polarizing when it comes to opposing players. A lot of people are upset that she's been getting all the attention that she's getting. On top of that, dude, this girl needs a break.
That I agree with. I mean, playing the NBA, the college season, then go right into the WNBA season, then into the Olympics, it's tough. I get that other women have done it before, but it doesn't mean that it needed to happen here. And to be honest, I think she deserves a break. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that I appreciated about her is I love the response she got and she gave to her coaches. Like, hey, coach, they just woke a monster. Like, I came in, I was having fun, I was getting that, but if they want to really piss me off, I'm coming. And that next game, she ended up dropping 30. Now, granted, it was on the worst team in the league, but still, she dropped 30. And I know she was held to 10, I think, last night, and they had a really shitty game last night. But again, she's growing, she's learning, she's going to be a superstar in the league. She's going to be, in my opinion, a Steph Curry-esque person in the league. That's what I think, where she's going to come in and shoot the lights out. She's going to be shooting half court. She's going to be shooting logos. She's going to be lighting up the crowd and getting everybody excited. Now, if she can get a cast of characters around her like Steph was, if she could find her Draymond, if she could find her... But the problem is that you look at her, she's getting knocked down. Her teammates aren't even coming to help her up.
Yeah, a lot of them are just hate. A lot of them are just hating.
I think there's a lot of haters in the league, bro.
So, but I'm just saying, like on her team, your team's shitty anyway. So clearly, you're not the team of the best women out there. You've now been able to get a superstar on your team. Why wouldn't you rally around her? And I wonder about that. But then to me, it's the difference between men and women. And
Careful.
I feel like no. But in general, like. Women have tighter circles, smaller circles. They aren't as, friendly with everybody. You know what I mean? And they take more, to be honest, if this was a guy's team and somebody knocked your rookie down, you're probably going up and getting involved. You're probably separating an instance. You're probably getting in.
It all depends, man.
I just look at it as it's a weird situation, but I just look at it as why isn't her own team defending her? Why aren't they stepping up more? Why aren't they getting in players' faces? And, because she's getting knocked down. She, like you were saying, she's the most defended person in the league. Why don't they have somebody on their team who's taking it upon themselves saying, you know what? I'm gonna be there. I got your back. I'm gonna hit a hard screen. I'm gonna put some of these girls on their ass to help you out to make sure they know they can't come in and run roughshod over us. And I get it that it's not necessarily a physical sport, but they're turning it into that with what they're doing to her on the court. And with that all said, you've got to be able to defend your player. She's your guy.
Eric, I actually 100% agree with you. My time here is almost up. I almost got to go in and clock in. But I'll leave you with this. The only thing I can ever do in these moments is give you some life experience that I've gone through personally as far as team sports. Eric knows when back, and I'm going to go all the way back 20 years, 21 years, 22 years ago to high school hockey. Eric used to come to our games. We used to battle, dude. If we had to brawl, we brawled. And it was for anybody and everybody on that team. And he also knows that not all of us were friends with each other off of the ice. But the second we walked into that rink, dude, we were all for one common goal, one mission. I used to mess so bad with the freshmen on our team, dude. I can't even tell you how bad. Statute of limitations is gone. But some of the things we used to do to the freshmen on our team were a little out there. But if anybody else did it from another team on the ice, you got absolutely murdered. You did not fuck with the people on our team. And again, it was all different cliques, and we ended up winning our league championship and all that good stuff. But were we talented? Yes. But part of it was that, we had that family feel. Second we went into a locker room, second we went into a rink. All different, think about, Eric knows what I mean when I say, think about Ken Buckner to Kevin Herdman.
Yeah.
Right, dude? We're talking two opposite ends of the social spectrum. But if Ken Buckner was our goalie and if you screwed with him, you got absolutely pummeled out on that ice. So that's part of that team thing, you know what I mean? Where it didn't matter who you were. If you were on my team and as an enforcer, later on, if you were on my team, it didn't matter if I liked you or not. If somebody else fucked with you and it wasn't me, there was a problem.
Yeah.
So with that said, I got to go. I love you guys. Have a great night, and hopefully I don't get hit by a car.
We hope
we
so.
Hope the same. We hope the same.
There.
All right, my man. Be good.
We'll talk to you soon. That was Mr. Eric Pfeiffer joining us.
I love the word.
Looks like Joey's got a little something from the chat.
Just a couple things. Carl's throws in there, the attention that the WNBA gets will get them paid more. That's why I don't know why, Caitlin Clark, they're making a big deal about Caitlin Clark. And Timmy puts in that the whole league is bullying Caitlin, and she's just answering back, which is kind of cool to see her do.
She needs to do that. She needs to show him that, listen, Jordan got knocked around for a while.
Exactly.
Jordan got put on his ass.
Earn that respect.
That's
what we're going through right now. But no,
and
she
when
doesn't
she
deserve
does,
to be on
she's gonna take off like a rocket ship.
Correct.
She doesn't deserve to be on the Olympic team, which we went well off the rails when it came down to talking about being on the Olympic team. But
again, that goes back to the team mentality, and this team wanted to be together. This team, to be honest, didn't really want Caitlin Clark on that team because it would have messed with the cohesiveness that they have.
That she would have been a distraction more than anything else. She would have been an
absolute distraction, and it's better because I don't know about you guys, but I love America, and I want to see as many gold medals as possible coming to America during the Olympics.
America.
That's how we do. But anyway. Moving on, I mean, the only thing I wanted to make sure I brought up with you guys, because we didn't
Speaking of
touch
America.
Yeah, speaking of America, America's pastime. Well, no, not that yet.
No.
That's gonna be our
Okay.
final topic.
I thought
But I
you
gotta
were
get
go-
your
my
quick
bad.
thoughts. And even Dave, I know you're not a big baseball guy, and we still got other sports going on, so you really don't pay attention yet. And
Oh no, I go on hiatus once basketball and hockey's done. I'll see you guys in like a month and a half.
Exactly. But right now, what have I told you? There's only 10 teams in all of Major League Baseball that are above 500.
So 1/3, right? There's 30
Yes.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1/3.
Are above 500.
But the question is, right? Like, if you could pull up the MLB standings, right? The question is, how many are at 500?
Not enough to make a difference.
Like, if you told me 10 teams were at 500 and 10 teams were at below 500, I'd
How
be like,
about
all right.
0 teams, or no, 1 team at 500?
So you got 30.
35 and 35 San
And then
Diego, and then
33
33 and 33 Boston.
Boston.
So you have 12 teams that are 500 or better.
And then you've got two teams that are only one game below 500, or two teams below, one game below 500. You've got four teams that are only two
They're all right
games
there. It's
below
like bunched
500.
up.
But they're
Yeah,
all
it's-
under
but
500.
it's also it's a parity thing as well, just not in a good way. But it's still a parity thing. It's you're gonna have. I mean, for
the
all
parity
you know,
is all these teams suck, and then you're going to have 10 really good teams? Like,
how many teams make the playoffs?
14 now.
14, yeah.
All right, so you got
So
some
you're going to get
basically
teams where
practice
getting in
games.
under 500? Right now, you would have
Happens
4
in the
teams.
It
NBA.
happens in the NBA.
Happens
It happens
in the NFL. We've had division winners in the NFL be under 500.
But it doesn't make a good product. It doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Hey, Quake. Yo,
We've bitched about it in those occasions.
the Quake in Seattle was when New Orleans went and played Seattle. That still made a great playoff
yeah,
game.
and they beat New Orleans, didn't they?
They
No,
did.
New Orleans. Yes, they beat New Orleans that game. Like,
Yeah, I
again,
said
they
yeah,
got
7 and
they're
9.
with.
Like,
They shouldn't have been there. I'm sorry. If you're not over 500, you don't. But even if you're a division winner, I'm sorry. Your division sucks. You're all out.
it doesn't work. Look,
It should. I know it doesn't, but it should.
I'm kind of with you on that because they play 162 games. I'm kind of with you on that. However, we saw last year the stupid Arizona Diamondbacks where they win 85 games and they made it all the way to the World Series.
that's only 4 games above 500.
Correct.
But at least they were above 500.
That's only 5 games away from being under 500. I'm just saying, like, I see where you're at right now, but you're not even halfway through the season. I think this is something well worth paying attention to. Like, if I was you, I'd keep track. But I'm sure there'll be stories about it. But either way, like, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal right now. I think it's teams.
It's not a big deal for me. My team's sitting up there right at the top of the league. I'm one of those 10 teams that's up there. I mean, I wouldn't want to be Mike right now.
Well, how bad are the Mets right now? I mean, you got to keep
Hey,
scrolling.
For
so.
as bad as the Mets are, though,
Mets are 8 under 500, and they are.
they're like 4 games out of a playoff spot.
They're the 6th worst team in the league right now. So they're 24th in the league right
That's
now.
pretty rough. Under 400 win percentage. That's rough.
Yeah, but
There's so much.
you're
can
still
change.
in it, though, which is crazy to me.
That's
If-
what happens
if
when you
Alonso-
only have 10
if
teams.
Alonso-
And that's with them
it-
being 6 and 4 in their last 10.
Yeah, and they're still kind of in it. I would say give them a month. I wouldn't do anything too crazy if on the Mets.
They're not in it. They're not in it.
You
Stick
say
a fork
that,
in them.
you
They're
say
sellers.
that, but
Are the
you never
White
know,
Sox
bro.
really minus 148 in
Yes.
run differential?
Yes,
Holy
they are that bad.
crap.
The White Sox are terrible this year. I thought the Marlins would have been better. They're crapola, and
That's losing by almost 3 runs a game.
Yeah, no, they suck.
yeah, they're pretty bad.
Hold on, wait. I think we have a drop for that.
No, I thought it generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck. So
It's 17
Yeah,
and
we're gonna try
50.
to
It kind of
rectify
is an
that, but
all-encompassing
Yeah, that is
kind
an
of
all-encompassing kind of suck.
You know what I
That's
mean? Like,
brutal. Damn, almost 3 runs a game you're losing by. Holy crap.
yeah, so I mean, this is. I know you're not big into baseball, but this is just something where it's kind of startling to see that there's just so many bad teams right now.
Or there's just a whole bunch of teams that are evenly matched.
That's true too. You could look at it that way. I really think there's only about like 3 or 4 terrible
I see a lot
freaking
of
teams.
negatives in that column, though. You know what I mean? Like, even going all the way up to the teams that are like 1 game under, they're still like negative in run differential, pretty hard. So I mean, even the Braves.
Well, the Braves also lost their two best players, too. They lost Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna.
I mean, we all can't be the Yankees. Getting Garrett Cole back soon. Dominguez possibly soon.
He's a just in case.
Now we just need to, find a way to transition Rizzo and LeMahieu and Gleyber out and put in, but why not, little Jack Schiff?
Can we just, we talking about this 500 stuff, right?
Yeah.
The Red Sox are 500, but they're plus 30 in run differential. The Giants are one game below 500, and they're minus 27 in run differential. You're just talking about a couple games where these guys have lost, but they lost by 6 runs, or they won by 7 runs. These teams, there's a lot of parity right now, and the cream always rises to the top, right? Mm-hmm. You'll still end up having arguably the best 14 teams in there. And if you don't, then why are we playing 162 freaking games? What is the freaking point of that? I mean, if you're not going to get your best of the best there,
well, they are going to be the best. The top 14 teams. They're going to be the top 7 from each. It's going to happen that way. But I'm just saying, it takes a little sting out of it. To be honest, you want to see more good teams. You want to see more good pitching. You want to see more. But again, when it's just the Yankees, just the Phillies, just the Dodgers, for me, I love it. As a Yankee fan, I'll take this all day long. We'll take it. But again, now we got to perform in the playoffs. I always say that. That's where we've fallen off. We can win. Aaron Boon's great at winning 100 games. He's not as great when it gets to the playoffs. So that's where we need to excel. I know we got a long way till then, but I mean, we are over a third of the way through the season. Yep. We're closing in. We're a month away from the All-Star break.
Depressing time of my sports year.
The All-Star break is why, because you get 3-4 days
or
nothing on.
Basically, by the time you get to by the baseball,
no, but then
we got Olympics this year.
Yeah,
we got Olympics this year.
Olympics. Yeah, I got one every 4 years. It's
so this is that year, buddy. This is that year.
We got you.
Yeah. Go.
I got to be honest. Are you guys pumped up about the Olympics? I kind of am not pumped about it, but at least I'm excited that it's going to be something to watch.
I'll pay attention to the medal count.
Exactly.
I'll watch some of it here or there, but if I'm putting it on, it's not going to be
I usually watch some of the swimming
to the TV. I'll watch, but I won't be glued to the television.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Exactly. Same thing. At night, I might flip it on, see what's on, see what highlights I can see from the day's events. Because, again, it's played in wherever.
Paris.
So I don't know what kind of time difference we're looking at.
It's 6 It's either 5 or 6 hours. They're ahead.
They're ahead. So what does that mean for us?
So, in other words, when it's
3 o'clock there, it's 10 a.m. here.
Yeah, when they're doing primetime games and afternoon games, you'll be on the tail end of your workday. It'll be 2, 3
so it'll be a lot of daytime stuff.
Yeah.
And nighttime, like I said, it'll be more I catch up. That's where I'll see the highlights.
Correct.
I'll catch up.
And they'll do their biggest
and the medal
thing
count.
at night.
We got to pay attention to the medal count.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy says Winter Olympics over the Summer Olympics. Well, Summer's got basketball. Does that have gymnastics?
Summer's got swimming. Summer's got the
boxing.
Well, it's also got the outdoor stuff. So you got the triathlon, the decathlon,
track and field,
all the track and field stuff. So I mean,
watching people run in circles not entertaining. Watching 100-meter yard dashes, 200-meter yard dashes,
like
those are pretty
Usain
badass.
Bolt type stuff is pretty badass.
That stuff is pretty badass. But winter, also the diving. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes the diving is badass.
Cool. I do watch the diving,
but
the gymnastics is that winter? I don't know when gymnastics.
Gymnastics is summer.
Summer.
Winter has figure skating.
Okay, you're right.
Winter. I could be wrong. I don't know. I know about the Olympics once every 4 years. Well, once every 2 years since they alternated both.
True.
Olympic sports was right in the middle column. There you go. I got you.
Boom.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite Olympics.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
soccer?
You also get soccer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I might not be able to agree.
Oh, there's no men's soccer, right? There's only women's.
I don't know. To be honest with you.
No, there's both. There's men's and women's.
Yeah, men's
and women's.
Men's international national team.
All right. I only thought that because I know you have the Euros going on. Yeah. I wasn't too sure if they're also.
Yeah, you field hockey, sailing, soccer.
Timmy's putting up his argument for winter. He says, "Come on, bobsled, the skeleton, speed skating, snowboarding, skiing."
Yeah, I'm sorry, Timmy. I'm not gonna be able to agree with you on this.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Come on, guys, it's bobsled time.
Even golf.
that
Like, I
Cool
mean,
Runnings?
basically all your major sports are played in the summer. Every one of them.
Oh, they even got
But again,
basketball,
like,
baseball,
you have things-
soccer.
They got softball.
They
Nice.
got, they got
Other than
everything.
hockey. Other than hockey, that's the only major sport.
And
that's not.
skateboarding.
Shooting, judo,
Tennis.
karate,
Karate.
fencing,
Badminton.
breakdancing. This is the first year breakdancing's in the Olympics.
That to me isn't an Olympic sport. But that's why me and you have gone through this years ago. But you know how I feel. There's sports, there's leisure sports, and there's Olympic sports. And how breakdancing became an Olympic sport, I'm not really sure. But yes, it is in there this year. I mean, but years ago they used to have things like chess and things like that in there too. So I mean.
Is that just
Canoeing.
one person in a
just
canoe?
canoeing.
And
Yeah,
you
but
just-
you go down like rapids and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild. They have like courses set up.
Okay.
Handball. I mean, if it's like dodgeball type of thing.
Sport climbing. What is that? And I
Probably
gotta be
like
honest,
the
I'd be a
wall?
lot more
Like the
interested
wall,
if they
maybe.
could climb up as fast as they could without any type of harnesses.
Yeah, I
Give me some danger to it.
Yeah, I don't know what's. I mean, click on what the hell is sport climbing? Click on it.
Well, you know what it is. It's got to be climbing a wall or.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
but, like,
saying.
what kind-
The
like, is it,
fastest
like-
to climb up the wall.
Like how are we doing this sport climbing? That's a horrible webpage development. ESPN's slacking.
Yeah, that was bad.
That is like.
But either way,
nothing.
I mean, seeing that list of sports there, a lot of that does interest me to where, like, I'm not going to sit there and watch a U.S. baseball game, but I'll probably tune in to find out who won the game
Yeah.
and find out where they're at.
I
Same
would
with,
check
the
out softball,
volleyball and whatever. I would check out the
soccer.
volleyball. I think there's
volleyball's cool too.
Volleyball's
I'm
cool,
watching.
like-
I'm watching at least one breakdancing. I just have to. Like how many times?
And when you do,
spend-
you can then report back on the amount of time you wasted watching
Have you ever
breakdancing.
not watched guys breakdancing like the subways and stuff? It's pretty badass. I don't
I
think
started doing it in my
I'm not-
high school on the
I'm-
gym floor.
That's not real breakdancing. Get out of here. But anywho, yes, Summer Olympics. At least I'll have that to not want to, cry when there's no other sports that I like to watch on. So we've got that. But I mean, no, you can't eat.
I know
it.
what sport
know,
climbing
I know,
is. They're
I know.
going up the aggro crag.
Listen, now that
That
is a sport. I'm telling you, if you did the aggro crag,
That'd be
plus,
awesome.
well, I'm saying take the aggro crag and then add like some American gladiators to it,
That's
like
what I
you
was
do
gonna say,
defenders
yeah.
on the wall.
Oh, that'd be so sick. Or you
Now-
get shot with the tennis balls.
Yeah, but I'm saying you add that kind of course with it on top of the aggro
Oh,
crag.
that'd be so cool.
That would be
I would
badass.
wa- I would
That
wa-
would be an
I would-
Olympic
I would
sport.
watch
I
that.
would be
I would watch
awesome.
that in a heartbeat.
That would be awesome.
Remember when they used to have trampolining and all sorts of crazy crap? I mean, the Olympics are their own beast, but all I care about is, are we going to come out on top?
Yes.
Are we America?
Yeah.
Are we going to win and get the medal count? I want the medal count. I want the golds. I want the silvers. I want them all.
We do very well in summer, so I think we got the summer.
We do
I mean,
well in winter, too.
we should have
We
the
don't
gold,
ever- I don't think we ever
gold in
win in winter.
basketball, men's and women's. We should win the women's gold in soccer. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
they
betting
should.
on a
Again,
lot
then you
of the
think about all the
women's.
track and field events. So, like, how many of them are we? We may not win many.
That,
of them.
well, see, track
Swimming,
and field
though.
and swimming are the two sports that really swing it because there's so many different events. Those are the ones that really swing who takes the medal count. But time will tell, my friend, and I will definitely enjoy the Olympics to an extent, but it definitely won't be anything that I sit down and dedicate 2-3 hours of my life watching any of the events.
No, but speaking of, and the last thing we're going to talk about, and again, to me, I'm gonna play because it's kind of double for the week.
Knuckleheaded news of the week.
Speaking of America and American traditions and things we love to watch that don't necessarily take forever to watch, we love it because it only takes 10, 12 minutes. It's the hot dog eating contest. Nathan's famous, coming up less than a month away. 4th of July, everybody gets pumped for it. American treasure and hero, Joey Chestnut.
Chestnuts,
Comes out
chestnuts.
that because now he has a brand deal with the Impossible brand of food, vegan style food, he will not be able to participate in Nathan's hot dog eating contest, in which he is the grand champion. He is our champion. He is America. Why is he doing this to us? Because we count on him. He was the one who took down the great Kobayashi. knocked him off his pedestal.
Yes, he did.
And took that crown to new heights. And now we're here, sitting here, and he's banned because he wants to eat vegan hot dogs.
No, he wants to
now.
be endorsed by them. He wants to wear, instead of wearing a Nathan's t-shirt, he wants to wear their shirt.
But do you know Nathan's offered him a 4-year, $1.2 million deal to come to do this event? He turned it down to do the impossible. How much are the impossible people possibly paying Joey Chestnut for the impossible?
Impossible
getting.
possibility that Nathan's would have let him actually wear their shit and eat hot dogs while there.
Dude,
it sucks. It just sucks. And I heard somebody say it perfectly. All you should do is wear the t-shirt, but drape a United States flag over it so that you can't actually see the symbol. But then he's meeting both requirements. Life is good.
it has
Eat them hot dogs.
nothing to do with that. Nathan's is bending over backwards, doing anything Joey Chestnuts wants. It's just a simple fact. They want him to eat a Nathan's hot dog. It's a Nathan's hot dog eating contest. He does. So that's the big holdup right now.
Well, yeah, because
They're
again,
bending over back.
So he switched over to vegan.
They don't care.
Competitive eating, they already came
what-
out and said that he's not actually banned because it came out that he
Correct.
was banned. He's
He's
not
not banned.
actually banned.
But Nathan's just wants him to eat. It's a Nathan's hot dog contest. You have to eat a Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah, and wear the Nathan shirt.
No,
and get the Nathan's belt. But I'm just saying,
they don't care about the Nathan's shirt or
even-
anything like that. You got to eat the hot dog.
Well, yeah, but
That's
but
it.
listen, you're in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Correct.
It's not the impossible hot dog eating contest.
Correct.
It's the Nathan's. So again, the fact that they're the ones supplying the hot dogs, they're not going to supply impossible dogs because
Nope.
that's not their brand.
Correct.
So I hope that Joey Chestnut in the next month comes to his senses. I hope this is almost a marketing ploy.
I hope it is too.
That he just
It
wants
builds
to
it
get
up
more
more.
eyes onto the impossible meats and whatever, and that this is a marketing play, and by the end, we're going to hear on July 3rd that Joey Chestnuts is back, baby, and America is saved.
America. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't want to drop that.
I love the passion.
I love that movie, though.
I love the
That's why
passion.
the movie makes me piss myself. It's hysterical.
Yeah, I love that our hero is Joey Chestnuts.
I mean, come on. Is there anybody more American?
He's more American than Iron Man. Let's be honest.
Like, honestly, he is the most. He is our Avenger right now,
Yeah, like
and he is
he's-
being sidelined by the impossible people.
I seriously can't. You honestly, you could have just talked about this and raised that crown and all that, and I would have
was
been
great.
good with
That was
with
great.
this segment ending right there because your passion, like that was.
I mean, come on, tell me how can you not be passionate? So one thing, and like I said, look, it doesn't take 3 hours to watch.
No, we're good. Keep talking.
It doesn't take 3 hours. It takes 12 minutes. And you can turn it on, and then you're right back out to your pool. You're right back out to your barbecue. You're right back outside. It takes like next to no time to enjoy the hot dog. And it happens at like noon. So it doesn't even mess with the middle of your day. It's not like you got to tune in at 6 o'clock when you're in the middle of... No, they do it at a beautiful time so you can get on with your day and enjoy your hot dogs. They're hoping it's Nathan's. For me, it's probably a Thuman's, but you know what I mean? Like, to each their own. I don't mind Nathan's. I'd eat it if I was there.
I'm sorry, really quick. I just have to shout out my friend Katie in the
Shout her
chat.
out.
Hopped in and joined us, and not a big sports fan, but she gave us the enthusiastic "Go Sports"
Go
with
Sports.
multiple exclamation points. So shout out to Katie.
Go
we love
Sports.
you,
Appreciate
Katie.
you, Katie.
That
Thank
was
you
awesome.
very much.
As a non-sports fan, I bet she at least appreciates the hot dog eating contest, though.
I mean, that's probably a fair thing to assume. I don't know who wouldn't enjoy it. I mean, not many. I think I've watched it only like twice in my life.
Oh,
Like,
it's religious. I
don't-
watch it every year. I watch it every
I don't
fourth.
watch it. I always want to know what happened. Like, I make sure to find out what happened, but I can't say I probably
American
haven't watched it in
staple.
the last 5 or 6 years.
It's as American as football.
Bring back Kobayashi,
or
let's go.
apple pie now. It is the American sport.
the epitome of the American 4th of July celebration.
A food eating contest.
It
definitely is.
Yeah. We out eat everybody, damn it.
that is for damn sure.
That's what I mean. This is the one thing we are champions of. And they're trying to steal that from us. The impossible people are trying to steal our America. We're not going to let it happen. Joey Chestnut 2024. Let's go.
Katie says, "Go hot dogs. Potato rolls are the best."
Potato rolls.
I agree
You
with
can't
potato
go
rolls.
wrong. I mean,
Potato rolls,
what's
baby.
the name of that?
Martin's.
Martin's potato rolls. Can't go wrong. Burgers too. I love the burger buns. Can't go wrong with a good potato bun.
No,
Gotta
this
be
is
honest.
very true. Very, very true. I will give you that. How did we get here? Potato rolls. Okay.
Chestnut, hot dog.
I'm there.
Now, they don't serve them on potato rolls there. They serve them on those, like, cheap buns, but that's why they dunk them in the water. They dissolve anyway. It doesn't really matter. Fucking shitty-ass rolls they use. Again, good potato roll. This Katie. She knows her shit. She got her hot dogs on point.
She's good people. I will not deny that. She's good people.
Well, know who else are good people? We're good people.
Are
We try.
And with that said, why don't we tell everybody where we can find you? So, Joey, come on, you got a social media now.
You can find me on Instagram at JoeyDoth47.
That's DOTH.
Yes.
Doth. You gotta
Meaning,
make sure
die on this hill.
There we
Boom.
go. He owns it. I love
And I
it.
will die on that hill every day that Joey Chestnut is our Avenger.
He's our show Avenger.
He's our Captain America. And without him in the hot dog contest, I don't know what we're going to do this year. So please, Joey, my plea to you is to please be there. Rethink it. Come to your senses. Eat a goddamn hot dog. Dave, why don't we tell them where they can find you?
Eat a Nathan's hot dog. That's David Hastings 23 on Twitter. I'm also David Hastings 23 on Instagram, I believe, as well. So
Or D.
Nice.
Hastings.
or I'm D Hastings 23 on Instagram. So
That's all right.
that-
Listen,
yeah.
you can find Louie on Instagram. Louie Aussie Dude. Getting a picture back here, down at our feet over here, our unofficial fourth host.
Just want to thank also people in the chat. Carl, Timmy, Katie, thank you for coming through. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you everybody
Yes,
who
thank
listens.
you, everybody. Katie's
like,
thank you for
subscribe, share, do all
Do
those
the
fun things.
Do all the things.
Shouting out to our old buddy Mike. And yeah, until next time, you can find me at The Living Legend on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, or at Die on This Hill on YouTube. Again, don't be afraid to have an opinion with us, and die on this hill.